So, halfway through the month, MSM started teasing a new island, and I had almost completely lost interest in the first game at that point since I had done everything, and I was legitimately excited to see what they would do with it. It looked interesting, the direction they were going, and I'm less than thrilled with how it has turned out. They were going really strong with lore building fit in with promotions, things like that. They even made sure that leading up to the update, all of their posts had a Starhenge-like feel. But then they released this trailer, which was underwhelming to say the least. Like, first off, that is lazy. They literally took Potbelly and put the mouth behind the stump where the mouth is supposed to be. I I don't understand what they were doing with any of this, but the actual update came out, and Celestial Island is the most apparent, lazy, like, typical community projects have been better islands I've ever seen them do, and I am not at all happy with the state that the company is in at the moment. First off, these designs are like the most lazily made things I've ever seen in the game. Like this is Glacier. This is not Glacier. This I care more about this snowman head than I do Glacier as a baby. Like babies, I don't. It's stupid. Hornicle, I don't understand why he just looks so weird. All these look like things that a kid drew. I do like the fact that he's not got the leg. Like that's it. He doesn't have a pirate leg, and that's the interesting thing about this design to me. There are so many things wrong with this that I don't even think it's necessary for me to say anything. And this one is just, I, why'd they have to do my boy Atmos like this? I just, I don't understand. This is alright. This is the only one that I feel is up to code with like the MSM style. It is the only design that I actively can look at and be like, oh yeah, that's in the game. That is a design that looks like it is in the game. These ones all look like concept arts. Especially this one. I can't stress how much I don't like this one. But if it was just me critiquing designs, then there wouldn't really be a reason for me to call out anyone on this. But the actual island itself is setting a scary precedent for the company and the future of the game as a whole. First off, you have to buy the Monsters with Diamonds, which is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard, especially since there's only 5 of them at the moment. So it is wholly not worth getting them while the sale is going on. Like, you're wasting money if you spend diamonds on these things at the moment, but they made it cheaper when you shouldn't be able to get it. It's just, I don't understand the thought behind these decisions. The island itself sounds alright, but it's obvious that they're not even trying anymore. They're all synthesized instruments. They're all from programs. None of it's done in-house anymore. None of it has any care put into it. The only thing that had care put into it was the construction of the song itself. And that's not even getting into the fact that the vocals on the island just it's not Glacier and Atlas anymore. They don't sound at all like they should. because they try to mimic how they sound on the other island, but at the same time they need to sound young, so they kind of do it, but then they don't, because they still have to sound like old men for it to actually sound like them. So you end up with these weird fan sounding versions of Atmos and Glacier. And it's not even bringing up the fact that Glacier just does not fit the island at all. Like, the sound he makes is apparent, like, abhorrently bad. The, um, the actual song itself, I will admit, doesn't sound that bad, especially like Musum's part and Hornicle's part. But Tort, like, apparently just got 80 more instruments than he could play when he was an old man, because there's apparently like a clapping sound in it and a kick drum and everything. I know he had a kick drum, but not like a deep bassy like thump drum like the one Thwamp has. But, and not only that, I really don't like the update model. I don't like how they're releasing 5 and then they're gonna do one a month. We know they're gonna do one a month. I release 5 at a time, but that's because I'm working nonstop every day and making sure people are updated as quickly as possible. I only don't do them for like the outer projects I do because, well, they just sound bad, and they didn't seem to realize that only 5 for Celestial Island sounds bad. Plus, what the heck were they doing circle jerking themselves for a year and a half almost? I don't know if it was a year and a half or half a year. Just don't quote me on that, but what on earth were they doing for that long to only release an island that has 5 monsters on it that just don't sound good? I don't understand how we got to this point. And I'm gonna just, just, I don't, I don't, look at this. These are a weird design choices between the first and second game, where it's definitely those sprites. Like, they took Atmos' sprite from that game, and then they just kind of like took it into paint and grabbed it and then shrunk it. Because that, you cannot tell me that they didn't reuse sprite pieces from the second game. It's just, this literally is Atmos, but they like clipped out the mustache. This is probably what the adult Atmos looks like, just without a beard and mustache. Oh, and don't even get me started on that, how you have to spend diamonds on it, because I, I'm not gonna buy them if they're gonna cost diamonds. I don't think it should be diamonds, especially if they're going to wubblinize it and make it so you have to wait like 4 years to awaken them, because I actually bought Atmos. He was the cheapest one for some reason, despite adding more to the song than any other one. It 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 like it takes 40 minutes to wake it up. That's all I really have to say. And there's like 50 other monsters you need to, of each kind, along with that. So, update came out, I gave them a chance, and they shat in my mouth, and I'm not happy.